De Facto Podcast is privileged to have been founded on Wadjuk Noongar land.
We pay our respects to the traditional owners of this land and express our sincere gratitude for their ongoing guidance as we work in their community.
Hello, welcome back to another episode of De Facto, where we discuss our 9-to-5 kind of relationships in another podcast literally no one asked for. I'm Nicolette.
I'm Kate.
And I'm Cole.
Smooth.
And thank you, Cole, for coming along to our very professional episode.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a rough start because I think I'm still drunk. So, but we've had a few tech issues, and our tech team has really let us down.
Yeah.
I barely noticed.
No, Cole's just been sitting here for 25 minutes on a Sunday morning.
Another thing just stopped working.
It's fine. It's fine. The light's gone out, but we're good.
We're good. We can work in the dark.
Yeah, we can work in the dark.
Okay, so we're here. We're excited. We have a guest. We will be chatting with Cole about life. It's not a first date. It's actually a second date. Me and Cole have dated before.
We have.
How do you think our first date went? Be nice.
Kate's going straight into it.
It was enjoyable. It was a pleasure. We went to a nice bar,
Thank you.
ate some food, and shared conversation.
As me being the datee,
And me being the dater.
And you being the dater.
It's a team sport.
How did you feel I went? Be nice.
Oh, you
Really-
gotta move over this way.
Really good. I don't know. We didn't have a second date.
We didn't have a second date.
No.
Yeah.
So,
But we could have had a second date.
yeah, we
We would have had a second date. I got busy, and then also I did start seeing someone. But we would have if I didn't start seeing someone. We would have had a second date.
you put me on the spot because you were like, tell me why and only say nice things.
I was like, you got a list
No,
of all
well,
the shit.
like, for full disclosure, I did try to organise a second date.
Yes.
And it didn't happen, and
Yeah.
that's fine. I don't feel like that it was the best first date for either of us, right?
Okay.
It was good friend vibe, right? More friends vibe?
I think more friends vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll continue being friends.
I hope so.
Forever.
Kate's like, if you make it through today.
If I don't say anything.
Forever, we will continue being friends.
So because Cole and Kate have already been on a date, but Cole's just obviously such a catch, so we thought we would. So we got Cole here, so he's going to tell us, obviously, we're just going to get his input throughout the episode, conversation, striking good looks,
A different perspective, maybe.
a different perspective.
Great sense of humour. Today's sponsor, and I'd like to say a big thank you to today's sponsor. Today's sponsor is the universe.
Tell us why.
Well, because everyone, I had a great night last night, hence why I'm still drunk. I went out for 2 o'clock wines with my friend. 2 o'clock wines from one bar, we went to another bar. That turned into a house party.
This is 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
2 o'clock in the afternoon. The house party, then we went back into Freo. Then we ended up at Benny's for about 30 seconds. Left Benny's. Then I caught the train to my local wine bar, met someone there. And this is why I'm thanking the universe and they are our sponsor today, because on my walk home with this guy, we ran into my ex.
Yeah, that's good universe.
Oh, it's so good.
That's
It was
it.
so fucking good. And he mumbled something, like we literally crossed, we were on the same path and we had to walk past each other, and he mumbled something to me and I had no idea what it was, and I just kept walking. And then later on when I got home, I said to this guy I was with, I was like, did you hear what that person said while we were walking? And he was like, nah, but I think he was a crazy guy. And so thank you, universe.
That's a power move for sure.
I think she's back, right? Like, this is what the podcast wanted. They wanted Chaos Kate.
Chaos
And
Kate's back.
she's meeting up with boys and bumping into exes.
She's staying toxic.
Yeah.
She's staying
toxic.
And we love it.
Get that hot content for the potty.
Exactly.
you.
But like what we said last week, or did we say this on the podcast, or did we just talk about it in general? We feel like
It's hard to say.
if you're the one who gets dumped, you can do. There's like no
I can
rules.
do whatever I
you can do
want.
whatever
Yeah.
you want because you're like, well, you didn't want me, so I'm just gonna fucking do whatever I
I'm
want.
going to go with someone that does want me.
Whereas-
And let me tell you, they wanted me.
And then you got some tips for the podcast from him, right?
Oh, yeah, I did. I got the lappy out when I got home, guys, and just asked a few questions. So I've got some tips and brought them here.
You should have dragged him along.
Well, he's coming on the next episode. He said he's keen.
Oh,
The
cool.
poor guy thinks he's gone back, maybe getting lucky. And Kate's like, right, while you're here, we're just going to pop out a few questions.
Nope, we are not sleeping together. Yes, we are working because work never stops.
He sees the ring light and the camera and he's like, oh.
And here's your microphone. Thank you.
So, Nicolette, how's your week been?
My week has been good. I actually don't really have anything to update you on. It's been pretty boring.
Boring. Meh. Loser.
I'm not going through a breakup. My life's like pleasantly content right now. So it's kind of just,
Must be nice.
yeah, it's really boring.
Nothing to report.
I did start watching Fuckboy Island though.
Oh, yeah, how's that?
Oh, terrible, but can't look away.
Does Abby Chatfield make it?
Yeah, she's pretty funny. And I'm like, sometimes Abby Chatfield, I'm like, but most of the time I'm like, yeah. And then I reckon she's really funny in it. So I would highly recommend watching it. But I would say, and we're watching it with our friends and Hannah, and like Hannah's like the ultimate anti-reality TV.
Yeah.
Like, so this is so like,
I'm with
so
Hannah on this
shit.
one.
Hannah, get around.
And
No.
then by the second episode, she was like, what did you just say? Hang on. Turn it up. So she was hell into it. And then we're saying, so obviously half the guys have to pretend they're good guys or self-proclaimed good guys, and then half the guys are self-proclaimed fuckboys. And it's up to the three girls to figure out.
Can I just say, if you're going on the show, Fuckboy Island,
Yes.
regardless if you're a good guy or a fuckboy, you're a fuckboy.
Yeah, I kind of thought the same thing. I
You
was
can't
like,
label yourself a good guy. Well, as soon as you label yourself a good guy,
Yeah.
you are a fuckboy.
yeah.
They should know better. Speaking of knowing better, I actually wrote down some like Tinder dating app red flags. I also do want to say I got banned from Tinder.
You do get banned.
Is your new profile say, I got banned from Tinder, now I'm on Bumble? Because I hate reading that. I don't know what that
people actually
means.
do that?
A lot of women are like, I got banned. And I'm like, how? What did you do?
Well,
and I'm not
anything.
swiping you. If you got banned from a dating app, what have you done?
I'm back.
And Kate, what have you done?
Well, I don't know. I got on
not
Tinder
true.
on a no. Let me say my
Sorry.
thing. Let me say my piece. I got on the Tinder on the Saturday, and then by the Sunday afternoon I was banned. But I'd probably swiped a few people. No matches, no messages. And then I got a notification saying I was banned for breaking the community guidelines. So you know what I did? I emailed them. I emailed Tinder and said,
She
why
was on
have
the
you
call?
banned me?
Did you call them?
No, because you can't call Tinder. There's no number. But I would have called them if I could. I'm a very angry, disgruntled
Yes,
customer.
hello there, Karen. I was just calling. I've been banned from Tinder.
I've been banned from Tinder.
And I would like to make a report.
How am I meant to go on a date down at Muffin Break at the local Westfield?
At the local
If I can't
Westfield.
fucking match with
Exactly.
anyone. And I found it really low that they did that to me when I feel quite unstable and I'm going through a
I
tough
think
time
they were
right now.
intimidated by how hot you are.
Probably.
And they thought that profile must be
Were
fake.
you-
Must be
Fake.
fake.
Were you
It's too hot.
catfishing? Someone
Yeah.
reported you maybe.
Yeah, that's what. Or I thought maybe someone.
So I was like, she fucking does not look like that report.
I always wonder if I'm a catfish because obviously you pick your best photos,
do.
right?
No,
And
we've spoken about this
What's the
before.
opposite of a catfish? I feel like my photos are terrible. And I don't think that I'm like...
do you think you
honest fish.
overachieve like face to face?
I think I'm better in
Undersell.
person because, as Nicola and I were talking about the other day, I got one of my mates to take a photo for me, and it was the pits. I took some photos of him. He's a handsome guy, as it is, but they were stunning. And then he was like chin down, and I put my chin down. And he was like, look to the left, and I'm like doing this one. That's good radio. Just
Right.
for
Yeah.
everyone listening at home.
Like really
It
visual.
was a lot of chins and not a
No.
good look.
Nah, we want less chins.
But we
I'd
were
say.
saying that when someone starts, like when you're getting a photo taken, someone starts directing you and you're like, oh, must be shit. Like, oh, why don't you just try? And you're like, oh, yeah, okay, no, we're done. We're
Kill
done.
me. As soon as you do that, I'm
Yeah,
over it.
exactly.
But, okay, so I was looking, I wrote down some red flags on Tinder or some annoying things. Number one, if you're putting on your profile your height, so say you're putting 6 foot, I immediately know you're 5'10". You're 5'10", right? If you put your height and you put under 3 inches, the joke's over. The
Yeah.
joke's been done. And also now I know you're short because you'd put your real height if you were tall, right?
Yeah. I think if you're a short king, you got to steer into the skid. Just own it. Like,
Yeah.
everyone knows you're going to be short. Like,
So when you say own it, do you mean like not list the height, but just like photos
Or
that-
you
with
could
all
just
your big
list
mates
it.
around you or something?
yeah.
I've been telling people
I agree.
I'm 5'11" lately. at the pub and stuff like that,
Instead of saying,
I'm 6'2",
yep.
which is my height, and then guys will be like, look at me and be like, wait, what? They'll be 6 foot and like probably 5'11", and they'll be like, wait, what?
Wait, what?
I love that.
That's Malman for sure.
I love that. That's
Yeah.
so toxic that I love it.
Yeah. I feel like you really got to own it. Like, you can't hide your height. I did see a TikTok once and this guy was getting his legs stretched. Have you seen that?
Oh.
I
Have
feel
you
like
not
you
seen that?
can't be stretching your legs.
It must be so bad for you. It's like they literally have like broken his thigh legs and
God.
grow like it's like been like a 2-year process, and he's got these like cleat thingies on, and he's like before and after, and I mean it could all be fake, but I was like, I've never seen this before. But all the comments are like, that's
No,
not
what do you
healthy.
mean it's fake? I feel like everything on TikTok is real.
Everything's on, and the internet is real. That's what we always
Yeah.
say. Everything's real.
So when are you going to ask me about my life?
Yeah. Well, I'm waiting for you to bring it up.
I've had a great time.
All right, please tell me.
I've had a great time. Now, it started off with a previous... Okay, I just want to say we're back. I just want to say I'm back.
Hit the
Kay
soundboard.
Rastos
Something. We need
is
something.
back.
I'm back. Was messaging a previous hookup, the young boy.
Mm-hmm.
He's good for it. He's
young
good
boy.
for it. And do you know what he said to me? He said, how about I help you get back on the horse and we have a movie night?
Oh, that's so nice of him. You know, that's a real.
And do you know what I said? I said, how about less movies, more horse?
Well, I just say there's not many guys out there who would take one for the team
Yeah.
and
Oh
offer
my
that.
God.
So
So great.
a real genuine person.
Genuine person.
Yeah.
Keen. I'm keen. I'm
Just
saying I'm saying more horse. You know,
horse.
we're back.
All
We're
right.
back.
But you didn't catch up with him.
No, but I will.
Okay.
I just want to let the listeners know I
Yeah.
will. I'll fill you in when it happens. That's happened.
Bring him on the podcast.
He'll come on the potty. I'm assuming. I think he listens. So
Shout out.
let me know. Shout out to you. Let's hook up and then come on the potty.
Okay.
And then I've put here Kebab Nick because, okay, so Nicolette knows this story.
Sorry. Mine actually says taco.
Yeah, it says Taco Nick, but I've realised his name is actually Kebab Nick.
Kate's getting her tacos mixed up with their kebabs.
So on one of the dating apps, matched with this guy, fully my type, right, to a T. And I was like, amazing, he's hot, he's got a boat, this is wicked. Messaging, but messaging like, so what do you do for work? And where do you live?
Yeah.
And like full on like getting to know each other. And then he goes, oh, like let's add each other on Instagram
Let's
and
take this off app.
let's take this off app. We're going
Oh, that's
offline.
crazy.
We're going-
That's like second base.
Yeah, it was hectic. Like, I feel like we're kind of dating, but whatever. I've already made up my whole life with him.
Yeah.
Anyway, so then we go, so he follows me on Instagram, and then I look at his profile and I'm like, whoa. Like, but the first, like, maybe like the first 9 photos on Instagram, I'm like, yeah, these are the same photos as his profile. And then I scroll a bit further and I'm like, this person looks really familiar. Scroll a bit more and I'm like, yeah, who is this guy? And then I remembered, we've fucked.
Oh, God.
And so he's messaged me to continue the conversation of us getting to know each other. And then I just responded. I was like, bro, we've met. And then he was like, what? And I was like, yeah, we've slept together. You've been to my house
And
many
it
times.
was beautiful and memorable.
Very memorable.
Clearly it was shit and I got to up my game.
Oh, God.
Also, red flag, he didn't recognise you. And
I
remember,
know. But
like,
I
I know
also...
you didn't, but that doesn't matter. We're talking about you.
How fucked is that? I've literally slept with him, no idea.
So, are you still going to chat to him then, or
Nah,
are you over it?
I'm over it.
Yeah.
Where's Kebab come in? What's Kebab?
His name was called Kebab Nick because I think I met him in a kebab shop. So, and I'm quite creative with the names. that
I was
give
going to
people.
say that's very creative.
Yeah.
Yeah, really a lot of thought.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, that's me. I'm out. Let's actually talk about some serious stuff.
The hot topic.
Let's get into a hot topic.
Okay, the hot topic. I saw a video. This girl was talking about how a guy she went on a first date with. It was a 12 p.m. date, and then she got there and he rocked up like 10 minutes late in sweaty gym clothes, and was like, "Oh, sorry," like blah blah blah. And she kind of straight away, like in the video, she was like, "Nah," got up, like had like one drink, and then was like, "Not for me," and left. And all the people in the comments were like, being like as if you're going to judge him on a first date and all this sort of stuff. But then she had some really good points, and she was saying like, if you organise the date to be at 12 p.m, like he organised the date, and then like rocking up late, is that a bad thing?
How late was he?
Like 10 minutes late. But he was in sweaty gym clothes.
So he'd been to the gym and then he just comes straight
Yeah.
there. No, pick a time. Pick a time
Yeah.
when you're not going to the gym.
Or plan your day better
But
to be able to rock up to the date not in sweaty gym clothes.
Was he stinky and sweaty?
Well, I assume by sweaty
It's
gym
just not a
clothes.
good look. Like I'm not into you right now because you're sweaty and gross.
You get one first impression.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what I reckon too.
One chance.
So glad we've got you on the podcast, Cole.
One shot, one opportunity. And then she was also saying, because all the guys were like, oh, whatever, it's just gym clothes. Like, I wouldn't care if a chick rocked up in gym clothes. And she was like, no, but you would because there's gym clothes.
And then there's gym
And
clothes.
then there's gym clothes. Like, there's like your hot matching set, like looking real cute.
Yeah.
Little cat makeup done. And then there's like actually just in a CrossFit class.
Covered
the flyaway
Yeah.
hairs.
And I'm always covered in
sweat.
chalk and weird shit from
no
rolling around on the
makeup.
floor. Yeah.
And I'm sure if a chick rocked up to a first date, like full sweaty natural,
Mm-hmm.
most people would go,
Not ideal.
yeah, not ideal.
I think you've got to make a bit of an effort.
Yeah.
Especially if you're picking where and when,
Right?
you know you can work around that.
Yeah.
You've decided. You're calling the shots.
Or say, actually, can we do 12:30? I've got a gym class at 11.
If a dude's doing a gym class, we ain't catching up. We ain't catching. Sorry,
Why?
if you're doing spin, I'm not interested. Nah. Next.
Wow, so wait, okay, actually, that
So
would
I
take
become
us-
single and now I get to call the shots.
No spin classes.
If you're doing a body pump, I ain't interested.
Wait, I used to low-key love body
Me
pump.
too, because we're women.
The
Now, I
lesbian-
don't want to be sexist. I don't want to be sexist, and I'm sorry. You can do whatever you want, but I don't. I'm not. I'm not getting hard. My dick's not getting wet. If
True.
you're doing a spin class and then we're catching up.
What about like a bike bar spin class? Like
Even worse?
Yeah.
Because I've heard those are actually really fun.
The more money you're spending on classes.
You can do a CrossFit class, or you can do like an actual boxing class at a boxing gym. I'll allow that.
Yeah, maybe this is why it didn't work out between you and me, Kate, because I'm a sucker for a class. I only do the lifting classes. I'm not hopping
body pump.
over a cone 50 times and then doing 100 burpees or whatever it is. It's like, it'll be like deadlifts.
I'll allow that.
Yeah.
Cole, I
That's hot.
actually saw
Allowed. Tick.
Thank you.
Cole was in the deep aqua aerobics class at the pool too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, me and Beryl.
You're doing the water aerobics.
Mm.
Interesting.
Problem?
Well, I just feel it's interesting to say that.
Okay, you get
To
in
tell
with the
to admit
grandmas.
that.
You get in with the grandmas,
Oh, they've always got granddaughters.
and they've got granddaughters
That's smart. I'll allow that.
or grandsons, or both.
Or both. It could go any way.
Go either way. But I guess that does take us into our actual part of the episode.
Which is called, the name of the podcast.
We're not sure
The
yet.
name of the episode is going to actually be
Not sure. We'll come back. TBA.
our second, Kate and Cole's second date.
It's not a second date.
It's going well. It's going. I'm really excited about this one.
Oh,
Is
God.
it just me or can you?
Can you feel
The
it?
eyes are wide.
Okay, so let's go. Green flags. First date green flags.
Wait, I think first of all, Cole should tell us a little bit about himself.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
6'2". No, 5'11". No.
He is 6'2".
You are 6'2",
Yes.
6'2". I'm 30 years old
Yes.
and I have a full-time job.
which is
I'm a firefighter.
hot.
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 Love a man in uniform.
Well, love a man in uniform.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. What else do you do?
With
Life.
Yeah, life. Been traveling a lot lately,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, just exercising, staying fit, catching up with mates.
What's your go-to exercise? You said powerlifting.
Yeah, I've got a gym membership.
Where's your gym?
New Movement, Osmond Park.
Cool.
Yep, it's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, and play a bit of golf.
Mm-hmm. What's your go-to golf club that you use?
Love a 7-iron.
Okay.
Yep.
Interesting. Tell us a bit more. Family.
Got a sister.
Mm-hmm.
We're pretty tight, good mates.
You are quite close, aren't you?
Yeah, we are.
Yeah. That's a good green flag, listeners. Close family members.
Mm-hmm.
That's nice.
Close
Hot.
with the folks. Folks are around the corner.
Yeah. Where do you live?
I live in Jundanna.
And what street? And you're the number of the house.
Mm.
Also, Cole drives a plush car. He has a plush Prado, kitted out, hot.
Yeah, I was going to say Cole's really into four-wheel driving as well. And I have been pleasured to go on a four-wheel driving trip before with
Oh,
Cole.
yeah, I had to make you all get out of the car so I
Yeah.
could get unbogged.
Yeah, this hill was hell
Y'all
steep.
too heavy, get the
Nicolette's
fuck out.
45 kilos was really...
It's like that huge hill, and you attempt like 4 times. It's like, all right, everyone get out and walk up. It was like, there's too much weight in this car. We're like, okay.
I feel awkward selling myself. You put me on the spot. But one thing I will say about myself, which I did want to bring up today,
Yeah?
which I will sell about myself,
You can sell
is that I've recently, I'll look at the camera for this one, I recently came up with a skincare routine.
Oh,
Yes.
yes. Love that. His
Because,
skin is glowing.
yeah, I jumped on board,
Yep.
doctor diagnosed my red nose as mild rosacea. It's not that red for everyone listening.
No, it's not noticeable, everyone.
As mild rosacea. So I went out and went to Chemist Warehouse and
What
I spent about
products?
Yeah.
45 minutes
Yeah.
trying to find
Apparently, a bean
anything.
is good for that.
What did you get?
Today's sponsor of the podcast is La Roche-Posay.
Oh.
So if they
Lush.
send in any
Any
products,
samples? Thank you.
Those are coming to me.
All right.
Okay. So what sort of steps are we talking in the regime?
In the
The skincare
in the
regime, I
skincare
mean.
routine, like a foaming cleanser, and then I don't know, I read a blog, some B5 thing, and then a SPF moisturizer.
Nice.
Yeah.
I just like to point out, just got to interrupt, Nicolette, you keep talking like we're not recording.
I know, sorry.
Like you just keep saying things.
I keep forgetting my mic's on, but then I'm looking at the recording, and then you guys are both not in it, so I have to quietly tell you.
Turn your mic off.
Oh, that's too much. It's all right.
We'll just get cozy.
There we go.
Okay, and Cole is wearing this morning, if you could just scooch on out and I could describe what you're wearing.
God.
Oh, he's got white high socks, misfit socks
With Birks,
with Birkenstocks,
Arizonas.
shorts and a jumper. Great outfit.
Okay, thanks.
I think it's a hot outfit.
Went for a run this morning.
Oh, he's already been
Before
for a
the
run.
body-
Exercise.
My feet.
The
kinda
body is a
sore,
temple.
so
I love that.
Awesome Birks.
Well,
Okay,
he's
so
definitely-
we're going to talk a bit more now about green flags.
On a
First date
first
green
date.
flags. Cole, go.
Green flags doesn't talk about themselves and how good they are.
So not what you've
Hog-
just done.
Hog the conversation. You put me on the spot, Kate.
So it doesn't overly sell themselves.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, how about I'll go and then you can jump in with some ideas.
Okay.
And I would
thanks.
just like to preface that I've been on quite a few first dates
Yes.
in the last
I'm
in the last 8 years, so I'm really good at this one. But
Yeah.
I do have a few listed.
And also my track record is quite good too, so
Yeah.
I feel like I would know a lot. because,
Exactly.
My relationships always seem to work out.
Yes.
Right, I put on time.
Yes.
On time.
Like
you
we
can be
just
a little
discussed.
you can be a little bit late, whatever, but maybe message if you're going to be a little bit late.
Or have a genuine excuse.
Yeah. Talks about family. I think it's a very green flag if you're close with your family. Organizes it. Please organize it. And also don't be like, oh, let's catch up on Friday. And then Friday rolls around, you haven't heard from them.
Yeah.
And then midday, they're like, oh, what do you want to do tonight? Plan it early.
Yep.
Yep.
If someone's asked you out, doesn't matter who it is, they say, do you want to go on a date on Friday? You say, yeah. If you ask, you have to be like, cool, what are you feeling? Or like, do you like Italian or whatever? And then book somewhere. Because everyone knows you can't get a last minute booking in Perth anymore, especially on a Friday night.
Love that.
Sleepy Perth.
I like it if green flag if they put their phone away. Like you could have it out but have it flipped over. Let's talk. Let's talk to each other and have our phones away. Don't assume green flag if they don't assume they're going home with you. That's nice. That's also just generally let's do
Also,
that.
I think just don't sleep together on a first date
Yep. Okay. Why?
because let's have a bit of mystique, a bit of mystery. Like,
True.
let's not give it all up straight away. Call me old fashioned, but
I think we were talking about this last night actually, because our friend went on a date and the guy said that he'd cleaned up his room
yeah.
for the date.
God, that's gross.
What?
Yeah, like he told her on the first day that he'd cleaned up his room, and I was like, you can clean up your room all you want. Maybe just try and keep it clean anyway. But don't tell someone on a first date that you cleaned up your room.
No, I'm sorry. Are you a child who's cleaning their room and then telling people?
Mum, I
I'm
cleaned my room.
Clean your house.
Honey, before your date, clean your room.
You never know.
Have you changed your sheets,
Yeah.
doll? Oh my God.
think, but then again, at the same time, like there's people that have probably been married for 50 years that, maybe not 50 years, not back then, been together for a while who slept on the first date, and then some people didn't.
Yeah, true.
I
But
go
I
either
do agree,
way.
a little bit of mystery.
Mystery. I could go either way. Depends where I'm at in my menstrual cycle. If I'm in the if
And
I've
your mental
just
state
menstruated,
as well.
I'm probably really horny and we're probably gonna fuck on the first date. If it's towards the end, don't touch me. Do not touch me. I'm actually don't know why I came on this date. I hate everyone and I hate the world. Right, some other green flags. I've put like confident.
Yep.
But you can't be too confident.
But
You've got to be
not
like
cocky.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
not cocky.
And I said ask questions, not just answers them. So if you're like, oh, what do you do? And someone tells you, and then you just sit there and then you're like, cool, well, I'll do this.
Yeah.
You know?
Mhm. Now, some of the boys last night have said, okay, one of them put matches their profile. This is the person that I had met on Tinder and met up with, and I said, do I match my profile?
Isn't a catfish, is what he's saying. Is
Yeah.
that right?
Confidence, listens, compliments.
Yeah, compliments.
I said,
Oh.
how long since we met? We're on a first date. Have you complimented me? And he was like,
Caught him out at his
body
own game.
language. I thought that was a really good one. Good,
Yeah,
like,
okay.
good,
Yep.
open, welcoming body language.
Yep.
Yep.
And doesn't check that. I reckon if it's a nighttime date, doesn't have plans afterwards. Like not like, oh, we're on a date at 8. Like I'm meeting the boys at 11. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you are meeting the boys at 11,
Don't bring it up.
Don't say that.
Yeah.
And the boys should know that you're on a date,
exactly.
and you
Yep.
could just text them saying, hey, it's going well.
Yeah, exactly.
See you another time. Or
Yep.
wrap up the date
Yeah.
respectfully and not like,
Not like
A
what
little
time,
bit of
catch up.
plans.
what
Yeah.
time do you reckon we'll be done?
Okay, what about this? If it's a girl and a guy on a date, or two girls, girl being the main person, she is into it, right? And then she has plans with her friends later, and she says, oh, some of my girlfriends are catching up for a drink. Would you be keen to come and join us?
I'll answer that question as if you just asked it
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah.
I'd say, oh, I don't know. Depends what. If I'm really into it,
Like
and
we're
there's
vibing.
obviously
Yeah.
there's a
We've
vibe.
been
'cause you-
drinking.
yeah. I'd say, look, I don't want to, crash you hanging out with your mates. If
Yeah.
you want to just go and hang out with mates, that's cool, and we can catch up later in the week because I would like to see you again.
Thank you.
Or maybe I'll just pop in for a bit and meet them, and then you
Yeah.
can have your girl time.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking like it could be really fun, and then you
Yeah.
could go and get drunk together and have a bit of a fun night.
I was telling
Or it's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, we were talking about
we
this
were just
last
talking
night.
about this, and I think this is something, not that I'm going to do it, but I often, like, I think I learn a lot about a potential partner who I've been dating when they meet my mates.
Yeah.
Because they're then, you've only hung out just the two of you so far, unless you've met their mates already, and then you've probably learned something more about them. But I have been into someone and then put them in front of my mates and then realize, like, oh, actually, she's not quite the fit.
Yeah,
True.
so it could be a good, like, I think if it's going really well, invite them along. But if they're a bit of a dud, nah.
I just want to say I can work a room, Cole. All right?
Oh, okay.
Throw me sink or swim, I'll swim.
she'll
I'm
swim.
great. People love me.
She'll swim to Rotto.
I've swum
Twice.
to Rotto twice.
Exactly.
So that's all I'm saying about myself. This is not my dating show. Sorry, this is your moment, Cole. Sorry to take this away from you.
I actually think this is your dating show, Kate.
Technically, yes, but today it's about you.
Oh, thanks.
It's about
I
you.
think also puts in efforts into appearance or their outfit on the first date.
Yeah.
For sure.
No sweaty gym gear.
No sweaty gym gear. All right. That was green flags, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. What about red flags on a first date?
Talks about their ex. You can
Ooh,
talk
yeah.
about your ex. Now, exclude me from this because this seems to be all I'm doing right now. You can talk about your ex if you've been dating for a while and you're discussing previous relationships. I
Yeah.
feel like when you're getting to know each other a bit
Okay.
more, why did you break up, whatever, like
Not
down the line.
first date,
Not a first date.
No.
Yeah.
I don't care about your ex.
Yeah.
Why are
Tonight's
they
not
now
about
in my
them.
life? Because you're talking
Yeah.
about
Tonight's
them.
not about them.
Yeah.
What about we were talking about this last night, brings up like politics on the first date. And then Cole said, actually go for it politics.
Oh my
too."
God, did I? What did I say?
Loosely. I feel like
I said
probably
it, Cole
said-
didn't say it.
I probably said, fuck the Liberals.
No, because our friend went on a date and he was like, just so you know, I'm quite right winged in like the first like meeting. And I said,
What are you,
that's,
like,
no, what did
Trump
I say?
supporter?
Was it right wing?
yeah, that's what
Yeah.
he said. Yeah.
Yeah, like obviously that's more like
If you say
That's
you're
a red flag
that's
being
what I
right
said.
wing.
But I think bringing it up means you're really stereotypically right wings, like less like rights and
when you're on a first date, you like soften everything.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, I'm kind of into this or
Yeah.
that. You're not like, I'm really into
right wing.
right wing.
So the first thing I think of is like anti sort of like gay rights or like a bit more like reserved in that sort of stuff. But like to bring it up on a first date, I think is a bit weird.
So what did I bring up?
You brought up that.
Oh my God.
No, it's not a bad thing.
I'm stressed.
That I still don't even know who she is, but she's a young, like political activist, and she met the Prime Minister
Might have been Grace Tame.
and didn't shake his hand.
Grace.
Same.
Yeah, and I didn't know who it was, and you were like pretty upset at me that I didn't know who it was.
Well, come on. It's 2023.
I don't have social media or watch the news.
Yeah, to
Okay,
be fair
fair
then.
enough.
I'm not informed.
Red
That's a red flag.
That's a red flag.
Ignorance is bliss, some would say.
I think so.
Yeah. Okay, some more.
Cancels, I reckon cancels the date last minute, like without a genuine excuse. And this happened to Hannah actually. Someone's messaged her in the morning and was like, oh, she was like, hey, like, are you coming? They'd confirmed it the night before. I think it was like a 10 a.m. coffee. And he was like, oh, nah, sent it too hard last night.
Ooh.
Ew.
And she was like, ugh, and just was like, okay, like,
Gross.
whatever. So, yeah, that's gross. If someone's too hungover to come on a date.
If you do cancel, it's not a cancel, it's a reschedule.
Yeah,
Or else
exactly.
it's,
Yeah.
that's
and,
it.
But unless they say that, then I don't think anyone's going to reschedule.
It's like,
Fair.
look, sorry, I have to cancel. Let's do it at this time, if you can.
Yeah,
Really sorry.
Fair point.
absolutely.
I've got doesn't text you afterwards saying that was nice to meet you. Just send like a little thanks so much.
Okay, what about if it was a really shit date? Would you text them, Cole?
Yes. Well, like, I wouldn't text them saying it was a nice day, but I am like hard against ghosting or leaving
that.
anyone ever feeling like they don't know what the future holds between the two of us.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to text them as soon as I get in my car and I can still see them walking to their car being like, thanks, but no.
Yeah.
But, you know, maybe the next day or
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's
When
fair enough.
they probably already know.
Yeah.
I've put here as red flag. Say you go to like a tapas bar or somewhere that it's clearly sharing. You
Yeah.
sharing, and they get like a main meal. No,
Oh, yeah. If you're at a tapas bar.
you've got to share. It's weird, right? When it's clearly a sharing menu.
Or when someone's like, when you go share meals and like, I don't like that. Oh, I don't eat those. I don't.
Yeah, cool. We'll get the fucking garlic bread and call it a day.
And the chips.
And the check,
That's it.
thanks. I'm out.
Be a bit adventurous in what you're eating. All I have to say.
Now,
Well-
I put this, shows up drunk. And I was saying this with the guys last night. And then as I was saying this, I realised I showed up very drunk to last night's date.
Well, actually, he showed up and you just happened to be drunk. So
He did show up, actually. He did show. He put the effort in, so that was really nice. But I was like, and this morning I was like, I'm so sorry. Well, I'd been drinking since 2:00, and we caught up. We caught up at like 11 p.m.
First date? Do you know this guy?
No, never met
was
him.
was it a date or was it a catch up? I think it more counted as catch up. I feel like if you message someone after 10 p.m. being like, hey,
Is that when you message him?
Yeah, it was really late. It was dodgy. I
So
did
it's
it
like a
dodgy.
booty call.
It was a
Yeah.
booty call. But we
Okay.
had nice.
But
we
you
had-
don't know each other, so you can't be like, come to my house. You were
Yeah.
like, let's meet at the bar.
I had to meet at the bar
Yeah.
first because I had to
gotta vet him.
visually see.
I think if it's that scenario, don't expect the best quality sober person. You know what I mean?
I'm a good quality sober person.
No, I mean at 10 p.m. at night.
Oh yeah,
If someone's messaging you like, want to come meet me at the bar, you're not expecting them to be sober.
it was very ballsy of me. I've
I
not
think
really
it's
done
good.
anything like that before. So I'm a new person.
Yeah.
Bad language is what. Okay, these are what the boys put. Bad language, and I was like, oh my god. I said the see you next Tuesday word in front of you. I'm so sorry. Answering phone calls for Davey, I've put. Okay, these are my drunk notes. Oh my god. I think he answered a phone call for a guy called Davey, and I was like, that's a red flag. Hates animals, no hobbies, doesn't contribute to community. Is what last night's hookup said.
If you're not in the community garden, you know, don't bother coming on a date. That's what I have to
Yeah.
say.
He also wanted to say that someone that buys VCOS water.
Boss.
Voss. That's definitely my drunk typing. Voss water.
Like the glass.
Nicolette
water.
speaks drunk Kate, so she can depict these
Hang on,
notes.
I got this. Yeah.
So they're the red flags.
Okay.
Right. Very not specific. I mean, apart from the Voss water,
Doesn't contribute to community. Love that.
love that. Lucky we contribute to the community. By doing this podcast.
For the people.
For the
Community
people.
service, right?
This is community service.
I've got a couple red flags.
Go on.
One asks for like a review of themselves midway through the date. Like, what do you think of me? Like, be honest.
Do people do that?
yeah, I get it a lot.
Oh.
Not all the
It's
time.
a bit
but,
awkward because you're not going to be like, yeah, you're uglier than I thought, and I'm not really enjoying this day.
Like first dates aren't really for honesty. They're
No.
for like they're
Your best foot forward.
yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes being honest is not it.
And leading on from that, trying to secure like the next date before the date's over, or like maybe it's just like a bit of an insecurity thing or something like that. But you know, like
we should do this again. When do you want to do it again?
And it's like,
Yeah.
well, hang on, tonight's not over yet. Like,
Yeah.
we'll see what happens.
Just be in the moment.
Yeah,
But then
that's
I
it.
reckon you had a good point the other day when you were like, oh, like sometimes you want to be a bit more like spontaneous and be like, let me organise the next date. Whereas if they're like, right, when's the next date? Let's do this. You can't really be like, oh, let me take you out next Friday. I've booked here. Because they've already been like, when?
Yeah,
What time?
they're trying to lock it in.
Yeah.
Some more red flags. Do you have some
Interesting.
more?
No,
No.
I said rude to waiters.
Oh yeah.
oh,
I think that's
huge.
a big, massive red flag.
Yeah.
Maybe, and I know this is like not a big deal, but when like if someone opens the door and it's like a first date and then it's like the guy that opens it, but then they go through first.
Let
Like
the
I feel
girl
like if you're
go
just
first.
there together, just let them go first and you've opened the door.
That's
Like if
nice.
I open the door for anyone, I don't go in front of them. Like I've like opened it and let them.
Do you also want him to open your car door? Or-
I said that to Zach the other day. I said, why do you never open my car door? And he's like, because you tell me off. I was like, yeah, I probably would. Whereas my friends have been together for like 12 years, married for 5, and he still opens the car door every single time for her.
Old school.
And then he opened the car door for me. And I went like this to Zach.
Okay, so what are some first? Okay, I'm going to ask you some questions, and you're going to answer them.
Okay.
These are the first 8 questions. Now it could go anyway. What's the favorite thing that you own? Your favorite thing that you own?
Surely your car.
Car's up there.
Yeah.
I would be. I would hate to have to replace it just because like
It's got a lot of gear.
I bought it and I put time and effort into it. I'm not really a car guy. Like at heart, I just love being out in the country, like on the beach. So
Love that.
yeah,
Did you hear that, ladies?
probably my car. Because, you know, like some guys are like, oh, you know, they'll just spend a weekend working on their car. I don't do that. I don't really like doing that. So yeah, probably my car because I would hate to have to install all the gear on it again.
Yeah.
That would be
Yeah.
annoying for me.
Yeah.
Although in saying that, when I do, I usually do it with my mate, and when we get around and drink a couple beers and install something on the car, it's a pretty good time.
Yeah, that's all right though.
That's nice.
So, favorite thing I own? I don't know. Yeah, probably the car.
The car. What do your weekends look like?
Saturday morning, I usually go to my run club. So Friday night would be beers with the boys. I got 2 mates that work in the city, so quite often
So just 2 friends.
Friends
Friends
with the
crowd.
city boy.
who work in the city. So after work, I'll meet them in the city with other friends.
Oh, with other, so just not the 3 of you, okay.
Is there anything wrong with hanging out with
no.
three
I've
Well, you just hang
friends?
out with me and you all.
I've only got 5 friends, so it's
Still throwing shade.
Lots of crowd.
Yeah, probably beers, and then I'm actually the only like single one in our group now. So my place is kind of where we hang out. So then we'll have some beers.
The lads' space.
And then we'll probably go back to mine and
the
like
bachelor pad.
play Mario Kart or something like that.
Wait, that sounds like good Friday.
Smash Bros.
Smash Bros.
Saturday-
Mario Kart
but-
or in general.
But I won't get too drunk that I can't still go to Run Club
Yeah,
on
okay.
Saturday morning.
What time's Run Club? 4:40. You're part of the 4:40 Cottesloe Run Club.
No. Was that the Sydney one?
It is, yeah. It is a city.
4:40.
But we meet at like 5:55 or something.
Okay.
But I don't always go. But yeah, probably go for a run Saturday morning, meet a friend for coffee. I went to the footy. This is what I did this weekend. I went to the footy with my folks yesterday afternoon. And then just had a chill night, got some Uber Eats with some friends.
Yum.
And then Sunday, yeah, I went for another run this morning. And then
And a pretty good podcast, I heard. Just
yeah, highlight of the weekend, De Facto podcast.
podcasting.
Thank you. Thank you.
And then, yeah, I think I mentioned it earlier. My sister just got engaged, so I got her engagement party this afternoon, which I'm pretty
A
excited
big
about.
muzzle tov.
Mazel
Yeah,
tov. Shalom.
shout out to Jade and Dan.
Yes.
Congrats. I'm so happy for you guys.
Yep.
What was the best glass of water you've ever drunk?
Oh, that is specific.
Was it Voss?
I don't know. Probably the glass of water I drank after I ran in the Margaret River Ultra Marathon the other week.
He
Because
did.
that was...
Answered very well. Very
That was
well.
a
Cole.
humble,
Do you see how I
humble
worked that in
brag.
there?
Yeah, humble brag. I love that.
No, that's some
He
bullshit.
did do the marathon, ladies and gentlemen. So.
Probably like after coming back from Bali or something, just drinking tap water, I reckon, yeah.
But you had to brush your teeth with
Yeah.
the water.
How often do you change your sheets?
Usually because I work FIFO.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't mention that before when I said I was a firefighter. FIFO firefighter.
Hot.
I try to change them before I fly away. So when I come back,
Yeah, I love that.
clean, fresh sheets. And then I guess if I'm in Perth for my whole 2 weeks off, I'll probably change them pending if I need to or not during the 2 weeks home as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
So
okay, that's fair enough.
at least once a month before I leave.
Once a month.
I'm kind of nervous. Is that bad?
No, we're clarifying because
he
he
is
works
away.
away.
I spend half the time. You know.
So every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
1 to 2 weeks. I
Yeah.
think that's about average.
Yeah, I sleep in the bed for 2 weeks and then I change the sheets.
Yeah.
And if I need to, I'll change it more.
Yeah.
Have you or do you see a therapist, psychologist?
I have.
Yeah.
I've seen a couple. I sort of struggled to find one that I really
Gelled with.
gelled with.
That's
But
actually quite hard, I would say.
Yeah, but I've just found one that didn't react in a way that like kind of annoyed me. You know, like you'd be like pour your guts out or whatever, and then they say something, and you're like, oh, were you even listening? Like, you don't get me. Yeah, I have done in the past.
Love that.
Yeah, not currently.
Do you know how to fake tan someone's back?
That's a good question. Or would you be willing to learn?
Yeah, I would. Look, the truth is, my answer is yes, I would be willing to learn, but don't fake tan. You're fine. You don't need to.
Yeah, get out of here. Sorry.
No.
This is our podcast.
What about for an event?
Okay, how often do I have to fake tan your back?
Once a month.
Am I using a mint or?
Yeah, you're
okay.
not raw dogging it.
I didn't mean. I meant with a
Yeah, so you
with
get the mint?
a spray, right? Or
No, it's a mousse style.
okay, yeah, circular motions.
Yeah. Love that.
Can I ask
you
a
do.
question?
I feel like you do know.
Would you prefer a raw chicken or a roast chicken?
Roast chicken.
Yeah, exactly. That's why we fake tan.
Okay, but you peel away the skin of the chicken because
And
you're
you
on a
eat that
diet,
separately.
I'll eat the skin.
and then underneath the skin is the beautiful white meat.
It's been roasted though. You know what I mean?
It's so funny.
It's been roasted.
I don't know, whatever.
I had the
Okay, oh wait. Okay, no, you go.
I was going to say I had the funniest analogy. I was talking with my colleagues, with a couple of people that were married, and he was saying, you go to a restaurant, you read the menu, and you order your food, right? And it comes, and that's when you're married. Doesn't mean you can't go back to the menu and just see what else is on there. I was like,
Have you ever done that?
Yes.
Have you ever got your food though and then gone
yeah,
back to the
and
menu?
you're like,
little dessert.
okay.
I've seen someone else. I'm like, oh, I should have got that. Like, you know, when everyone gets at the table and you like hate your meal, that's real depressing.
Well,
Food
let's do
envy.
2 more questions, hey?
Yeah. I actually have. We didn't talk about this before. What about paying on the first date? Who should pay on the first date? We didn't talk about that.
I think the person that asks.
The person that asked. Yep.
Oh.
I will always go to pay, even if I get asked out by a woman. If I go out with her, I will try to pay.
Actually, me and Cole when we had a date, Cole did pay, and Cole got me onto getting at Flipside, getting what burger was it?
I think it was the Kenny. Was
Kenny?
it the veggie burger?
Veggie burger
Yeah.
plus bacon. You got me on that, and I do that all the time now. It's my
You're
go-to
welcome.
burger.
It's
Yeah,
a good burger.
yeah.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Shout out Flipside.
Yeah. Because I saw this thing and this chick said that the guy was like, when the bill came, was like, oh, can we split it? And she was like, oh, okay, like, yeah, whatever. And then he was like looking at so he's like, oh, no, the extra avocado was actually on it.
She asked for it. No. I don't know. I'm always going to try and pay, but I will say this: I have softened a little bit in that if my date partner says, well, I would actually feel more comfortable if we split or if I paid because I asked you or whatever. I'd be like,
okay.
if you really want to, you can pay,
Yeah.
but I got next or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. The bloke should pay or yeah.
Okay, last question. How would you rate your communication skills in a relationship?
Better than they used to be.
Oh, God, that's good.
Yeah. I used to struggle with it for sure. That's probably why my main long-term relationship ended, was because couldn't really communicate that well. So
Does take a lot of
had to
practice.
work on it.
Well, that's good. We like commitment to the
Yep.
team.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I think better.
There's
Yeah.
no I in team, but there is in communication. So that's what they say. That's what they say.
Who says that?
Everyone.
Everyone.
That's how the saying goes.
Do love that. That's lovely. Wonderful. All right. Are we done? Any other questions to add? Any last tips?
Advice.
Are we about to end the podcast?
Yeah.
We are.
Oh, cool.
It's been too long. We've been here for too long.
We took us. No, what do we do? So we got our hot top at the beginning, and then we have our hot tip. We end with our hot tip.
We
so
end with a hot tip.
Do you have a hot tip for the listeners out there?
Yeah, go on Instagram or on the web and look up Jade Erin Lloyd Coaching.
Aww.
Shameless plug for my sister's business.
Yep.
She's a confidence coach. And
She does amazing things.
And if you're listening and you think that might be something that you're interested in, then you should hit her up
Maybe
online.
I should do that.
You can
we should have
do.
Jade
She
on.
does like Sunday sessions where you can
Yeah.
just hook into a Zoom,
Yeah.
and it's like an hour or whatever.
Yeah. And what we do, my hot tip is, if you're liking what you're hearing, Cole actually doesn't have social media, so
Yeah.
you can message us. Again, please label the message.
We have too
Inundated.
many coming in.
Too
We get
undated.
inundated.
And if not, we will find you and we will organise this and we'll make it work.
I have
And
a
then,
friend. I have a friend for you.
We could do a follow-up
Yes.
up.
Get someone on it. And
Yeah.
then interview the first names.
Yeah.
Get her on without me and see what she really says behind my back.
And then Cole can listen to it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Heartbreak on a Monday morning.
My hot tip is
That's a good one.
Yeah.
be toxic, stay toxic.
Stay toxic.
And the way you can do that is run into your ex when you're walking home with a new dude.
That is, the universe really had you back with that one. I would say, amazing.
That would have hurt, I reckon.
That would have hurt. It would have hurt, and it would have felt so good.
Mumble.
All right, well, that's all we have time for today. So thank you, Cole, for coming on. Obviously, Lainey for always just being here, the background gal. We will be releasing our podcast weekly. If you want to come on,
Hit us up.
hit us up because, Cole begged and begged
And we've got a long list of people to get through, but we prioritise Cole.
because we like Cole. So you can leave us a review or follow us on Spotify or TikTok or Instagram at DayFacto. That's DayFacto, where we post cool stuff in general. See you next time.
Over and out.